Tiburon, welcome to La Ventanita with your host Wario64. Here I have my co-host Calypso Akeem. What's going on, Akeem?
What to do? We know what it is. Another wonderful, beautiful, amazing game day. Ready to get started.
Hell yeah, man. We got New York Red Bulls coming up, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Definitely a good day to start recording. So here's a summary of what we're going to talk about today. First of all, Akeem's going to lead with an around the MLS. So we're going to look at different scores from Wednesday and maybe some games coming up to look around the MLS. I know we're watching DC Toronto right now. New England versus Cincinnati is about to kick off, and there are some USL matches going on too. So definitely a good Saturday night to watch some soccer, and then we play on a Sunday. What do you think about that, Akeem?
It's gonna be good. I guess let's take a quick trip around the MLS. All right. So on Wednesday had a packed schedule. So let's just run through them real quick. We had DC facing off against New York City FC. New York took that 2-0. We had a 3-3 tie. New York Red Bulls versus Chicago. We had our game, which is Philly versus Miami, 0-0 tie. We're gonna get more into that in a bit. Minnesota tied with LA Galaxy. Sorry about that. Up in Allianz Field, we had Houston losing to Seattle 1-0, which is very interesting. We had Kansas City, Colorado, which I think this was the game with like four red cards in a fight.
That was a brutal game. Yeah, I
That
saw the
was
highlights on that.
wild.
That was like a AEW match right
Yeah,
there, bro.
four red cards I just clicked on here. That's wild.
Yeah,
Uh,
Robbie Robinson's getting everybody stirred up, huh?
for real. Then we got Nashville beating Montreal 2-1. Vancouver also beating Dallas 2-1. We had LAFC losing to Austin at home 2-1, which is crazy. And we also had San Jose, the team that's either scoring all the goals or scoring none of the goals. They beat Portland at home 3-2.
Yeah, pretty awesome Wednesday to watch some games. I know we had our Discord open. That was a lot of fun where we watched with some Vice City members.
That
Um,
was great. Yeah, we had a bunch of
yeah,
Vice City members in here. I did later realize, yeah, the limit is 25 people in here. So if you guys saw the notification, I just randomly thought, like, we can put it up in the Discord. But yeah, we can only fit 25 people in here at a time. So I'm glad. I think the room was almost full by the time we get a few minutes in. So that's good. If you guys next time, we'll try and do that again next time, and I'll have a bunch of people in here just hanging out and watching the game.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, let's get into it. Actually, Toronto just scored. DC 1-1. I don't know if you're watching
Nice.
too. Yeah.
I have the
Uh,
scores pulled up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So pretty nice goal from I think Akinole there. But let's get back to it. So a little bit summary we're gonna do. We're gonna react to Philly real quick. Then we're gonna go ahead and preview the New York Red Bull game on Sunday. Talk about FC Barcelona, some pretty big news there. I know we're excited to talk about that. Some of the team's call-ups, and then react to the U.S. men's national team summer international window camp. Some a lot of surprises in there. We'll get into that. So without further ado, let's get into the Philly reaction. All right. So first of all, from a fan's perspective, we saw three Vice City members out there. Shout out to Patricio, Chinita, and oh god, I can't get his name, but he was there too.
Mm.
I got it somewhere in the chat. But yeah, man, that was awesome to see those some Vice City members out there. We saw a lot of Inter Miami fans. I saw a picture of Tan Harrington and his son
I saw
from
that
Inter
too.
Miami
Yeah,
podcast. Yeah,
I saw that.
that was really cool. That was really cool. So shout out to Inter Miami podcast. Really nice of them to travel and get there. So let's start with the starting lineup. Starting lineup, we only had about three omissions. Okay, so we had Vasilev up top to the right, which did we have? No, we didn't. We have Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had Lassiter instead. We had
Yeah, we
Lassiter instead
wasn't
of
expecting
Vasilev.
Lassiter. Yeah, he came on
Yes,
later.
he came on later, so he got some rest there. We had Campana, we had Taylor, we had Duke Rigore Mota. We had Jovan Jones instead of McVeigh on the left, but we did have McVeigh as a center back instead. Saylor was the starting center back.
Yeah, Jones did
Damian
not
Lowe,
play.
yeah, and then Victor Ulloa instead of DeAndre Yedlin. We had Yedlin. We thought he was going to come out early. He actually came on late, so that was
Other way
good.
around.
Then, yeah, other way around. Lassiter came on late. That's another one. And then we had Emerson and Higuain as the late substitutions. We'll get into them in a little bit as well. So let's get started with the first half. In the first half, we had a pretty exciting way to start off in the third minute. We had a shot from Vasilev that was assisted by Duke. He had Campana and Ulloa trailing, but heat of the moment, he had a shot. It came off a little bit soft. You want to talk about Duke there real quick? What you saw
Yeah,
from him?
Duke played really well. We're gonna get into something that happened to him later on when you are doing the rundown of what happened in the game. I think Duke played very well, not counting his miss in front of goal. He's a solid player. He's still a young player. I think he's 21. I believe so. He's still 21. So he's a young, hungry player. You can see that he wants to play. He wants to get on the ball. He wants to get involved in the game, and I like that about him. I like his aggressiveness, his tenacity. I think he can be a good number 10 for us if we develop him well.
I think his addition into the midfield has made a lot of differences, and it's telling. It's telling because he's a hungry player, like you said. He's hustling a lot. Um, he's got a lot of skill. He's a very technical player as well. So excited to see him grow, and that was a good play from him right in the beginning to get us rolling. Then in the 15 minute, we saw our player of the game, our Heineken player of the match. What's the official title?
Yeah,
Heineken man of the match.
it's the Heineken man of
Heineken
the
man
match.
of, man of the match. Our Heineken man of the match, Drake Callender. He started off strong in the 15 minute with a foot save from the ground stretched out. That was awesome.
That
So
was
he started,
great.
yeah, so he was warmed up, right?
Yeah,
Right
those
from the
foot
beginning.
saves are not easy. Let me tell you, man. Those things are not easy.
Yeah, it was
You
impressive.
just gotta put a foot out there and hopefully, you get to it.
He threw the old chicken wing up there, and he got a foot on it. That
For
was
real, yeah.
good for us, man, because that was definitely good. Keep him out of the net. We were controlling a lot of the possession in the first half, and we'll get into the stats. Actually, you want to go over the stats now for the game?
Sure. Do.
So before you get into the stats, we can talk
Go ahead.
about the 21st minute. As we were looking good, Duke capitalized it on a mistake and hustled up. He intercepted a pass and he gets into the final third. He gets a good pass to Campana. It's a 2-on-4. Philly did a great job of coming back in,
Hmm.
and Campana put that shot right on the post. We did see Mota and Taylor trailing, but again, heat of the moment, he got a good shot off, hit the post. Some good quality there. He beat Blake just a little bit more in, and it would have been a goal. But it's the nature of the game. I think Philly did get a play that hit the pole as well.
Yes, they
Hit the goal
did.
post.
And like you mentioned possession earlier, we had 56% possession. We had 9 shots on target. To hear this, to Philly's 20. To Philly had 20 shots on target. So they were sorry, just shots in general. They had 8 on target as opposed to our 2, but we had much better accuracy, and I think we controlled the game a lot better. But we were very, very, very much lacking in the final third.
Yes, we were like in the final third. Like Neville mentioned in the press conference, right? We had that 75%. We're missing that 25%, which is getting the shots in, getting the goals in. But we can go into the rest of the game. But really, we controlled the game in the first half. We saw a really nice save from Lowe. We saw a team of the week performance from Damian Lowe and Drake Callender. We'll get into that. But I feel in the second half we kind of were just getting, pelted by shot opportunities. The defense wasn't playing good, and I think there was just a lot of tired legs.
Hmm.
So it's just one of those games where the point I'm trying to get to is, yeah, we could have won the game, but we could have easily lost that game too, and we used to lose games like
Absolutely,
that. So
absolutely,
I
yeah.
so I think all credits to Drake Callender, Damian Lowe for standing up there, making a wall, and keeping us in this and getting us a point, because it could have easily been 0 points.
Yeah, we could have easily, like you mentioned, yeah, we could have easily lost the game. I honestly think we should have put this game away. I get what happened. It feels like I mentioned we were missing the final third. There were a lot of plays where there was like a very small window to get a pass off, and this kind of shows about how much of our lineup is changing constantly, because it didn't really feel, especially the attacking players, like they were always gelling in together. They didn't always know exactly, like when you play with a team for so long and you play with the same attacking players for so long, you understand like, okay, I know so and so is gonna be over here behind me waiting for a ball. It seems like we're kind of lacking that, and we're when we get a ball and somebody's making a run, like for example Bryce Duke or Lassiter or Campana has to be like, okay, where's my next play, and they have to stop the flow of the game, stop the play, and look for the next pass, and as opposed to anticipating where the play is going to be and where to pass the ball, and that's killing us because, especially the way they had themselves lined up, there was always at least 2 or 3 players around somebody. The way they just fell back so hard, they just filled up the box anytime. If we had 1 player, they had 3 players in the box. If we had 2 players in the box, they had 6 players in the box. They were constantly just playing so defensive, and they knew how our counterattacking style would work, and they tried to just stuff that out as soon as they could.
And one thing, I think you have a lot of valid points in there. One thing that adds to it, you saw it live when we were watching it together, and we just kept saying they're making the pass late.
Yeah,
They're making a lot of late passes, and that's part of being a new team, like you said. This midfield three just came together. We'll get into them in a little bit, but they just came together, right? This lineup of Vasilev is just brand new as well. We just got Vasilev like a week ago or two.
and he hasn't really
Um,
played that much for Gregory and Mota.
Yeah, he hasn't. Or Robert Taylor and Campana. So I do see them improving that. I do think there's some promise in the way we're playing and the identity we're building. But yeah, there's definitely a lack in the attack. Speaking of lack in the attack, Miami FC just scored a second goal. They're up
Oh, wow.
2-0 against Charleston now.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, pretty far goal. That was pretty cool. But without further ado, let's talk about Damian Lowe, Drake Calendar being named the team of the week. Well
Yes.
deserved. What do you think about their performances?
Low, he got a really good save off the line for us, and he played very well. He did make a couple of mistakes, but he always recovered very well. So that's kind of a crazy thing. Is like he half the time he's giving away the ball, and half the time he's winning the ball in some ridiculous way. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
My
So I
cardiologist likes it, but me not so much.
definitely your cardiologist is cashing in on that one, huh?
For real.
Definitely for me too. But yeah, Drake Calendar, hell of a performance. I wish my best performance isn't from my goalkeeper. Like you said, that's definitely not what we desire, but it's great to see. It's great to know that we can count on Drake Calendar. He's developing really young. I saw that Matt Doyle mentioned him for
Yeah,
young Americans to look out for. So we're gonna talk a little bit
definitely.
USMNT, and I'm excited to see him play for the US, man. That'd be really cool. And Damian Lowe, man, the reggae boy, Jamaican international. I don't think he got called up, but maybe they have a camp. That'd be cool. But Damian Lowe, man, playing out of his mind. Definitely our best defender right there, and well deserved to get
Definitely.
on the team of the week. I think he got on it the other week when he scored off the corner kick as well. So,
Yeah, this is
um,
second team of the week. Yeah,
yeah, he's
and
becoming he's
Drake
becoming a
Calendar.
regular there.
Yeah, and Drake Calendar's first. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, Drake Calendar's first clean sheet as well.
Yeah, it's true. So he got Heineken man of the match, got a clean sheet, and got team of the week. So he was team of the week on the bench, which
Yeah,
which
well,
I
he
don't
was on
agree
the
with.
yeah. I don't agree with either. Yeah.
But I think he played better than I forgot it was the Austin keeper. But
Does anybody else out a bench to their team of the week? Is that like a normal thing? I
I
think it
mean
is.
I know MLS does it.
I think the other leagues do it, but I don't know. Maybe it's an MLS thing like the secondary assist or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you feel about secondary assists? Off topic,
I
but
mean I don't mind it. I don't see why people are annoyed with it, especially because Americans love stats. So I don't see a problem with it.
this is the problem I have with it. It shouldn't count as a normal assist. It should be counting as a secondary assist. Like there should be a
They
separate
want to
stat.
pad stats, which I understand because soccer stats are hard. Like,
And
how do you do stats? How much? Like, I remember in Champions League, they sometimes put how much a person ran. Like why do I give a fuck if you ran 30 kilometers? Like,
yeah,
it's
that,
soccer. You're gonna be running. That's not a stat.
anytime they show that, everybody's got a ridiculous number where you're just like,
Yeah,
wow.
and this is not like fucking ESPN numbers where it's like this person did this on this is the first person to ever do this on a Tuesday and he's left-handed and his mom was an orphan. Like that's the kind of stats that ESPN does. As long as they don't get that ridiculous, then I don't mind.
I just wish it was counted as a secondary assist. And I know in hockey it's a normal assist, whatever. But this isn't
Yeah,
hockey, whatever.
I think
Uh,
they still. I think what they like to do, the way I've seen it, is even though they count it as a secondary assist, they now call goal involvement as. So it's like I think I mentioned this last podcast with Campana.
Campana, yeah, he's been
Yeah,
involved
how
in all our
how that
goals.
how that Damian logo was his the first goal that he wasn't involved in.
Non-involvement, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's I actually like that to show that like, hey, there's not it's not just the one pass on the goal. It's like a whole team thing. So I don't mind.
That's more
That's why I don't mind
metrics.
it.
That's a more of a metrics thing, though.
Yeah.
That's more of a metrics thing. But yeah, I agree with you. I like that too, and I like stats as well. You can tell we like stats here. So yeah,
Hmm.
we went through calendar. He stepped up. I want to talk about those tired legs we saw.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people might be concerned about it. I saw a few people on Twitter being concerned about it, but I think on this podcast, if you follow us these last two episodes, first of all, we want to thank you. But second of all, you probably know that we talked about wanting to have two strong lineups on Saturday and Wednesday because that means you could rest on Sunday, rotate a team in there of subs, and then I'll be strong again on Wednesday against Orlando in the Open Cup. So I think things are adding up, and I think we are going to see a lineup like that. We'll get more into that. So I don't mind the tired legs. I just wish the subs would have come sooner.
Yeah, and Phil Neville has a problem with this, kind of, where he makes subs very late, and there's times where he doesn't even use all his subs. I know, not this game. One, two, three.
He didn't.
Yeah,
He was four only.
yeah, he's
He's
four.
he left. He leaves one in case somebody gets injured. I honestly understand that in the MLS where you get three rotations of subs and you can do 2-2-1 because you can do five. I like that 2-2-1. You do two and two and then you leave one in case someone gets hurt.
If that's the case, I think MLS should make an emergency sub rule, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But these are the rules we have now,
Yeah,
and I agree.
that's why
I
I say
agree.
it's whatever.
Yeah, I agree with what that's there. You could save the one in case somebody gets hurt. You might have to use it early in the game, and then you do your 2-2 later.
Yeah, Philly only made 4 subs as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's a good strategy for the system we have set up. But yeah, I'm glad we saw that lineup and kind of telling. Just glad we didn't let the game step
Yeah,
calendar step up big there. With those tired legs. So Lassiter rested, but he came in. Definitely expect to see him. We'll talk about that. Neville mentioned having a technical lineup in there. I did see a very technical lineup. That's like a pretty much an A lineup for me. Maybe Lassiter instead of Vasilev, give or take, whatever.
yeah,
But
but Vasilev needs time on the field, so I understand
yeah,
that
maybe
choice.
maybe Mabika, now that he's back, I think it would be good to see him back there instead of Sailor. But I think Sailor's done good. Some people disagree. I think he's been a good.
He played
fit
for.
in.
I think he played good for what he needed to do. He did his job.
Yeah, yeah, he did his job. So, not on the level of Noah Allen. I love Noah Allen and all, but
He's actually playing in the game today.
oh yeah, is it back?
No,
Sure.
last I checked, it was still delayed.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Orlando B versus Inter Miami 2. They played about 4 minutes and then they had a weather delay.
Yeah, so guys, if you don't follow the Inter Miami 2 team, it's really fun. You can watch all the games for free on MLSnextpro.com. I recommend you watch them. A lot of our players actually come up through there. Sometimes if they're hurt, they'll play for the team. You also see, Romeo Beckham, Harvey Neville, players like that. Sean Honda, some really good young players that are going to be up on the first team soon. Edison Ascona. So yeah, we're watching that game. We're hoping it comes back soon because I was looking forward to seeing a little Inter Miami versus Orlando.
I'll see if it's pulled up. If it's up right now, you can go ahead.
Let me see. I have it somewhere here. I have it on one of these tabs. Here it is. Oh, it's back.
It is okay.
And Orlando's up 1-0. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck Orlando. All right, whatever. Midfield three. Midfield three were really awesome. I do think Duke is due for a step up. That's what Neville said. He wants Duke to step up. I think he played well, but I think there was a few things missing there. You wanna highlight those?
Yeah, one thing, like I mentioned before, he had a really good shot, open shot on goal that he kind of just skied over the crossbar, which I was saying like he needs to at least put that either in the bottom right or at least on frame. He did a really good. He had I think it was Sailor. I forget who it was. That gave him a really good pass. He turned on a guy and he was 1-on-1, not 7 feet away from the keeper, and just skies it. And with a player, I think I've always been big up on Calendar. Sorry, not Calendar. Duke, since I've seen him play, and I think he's really good, and he can be a really good addition to this team. Not even just now, just going to the future. I hope we should keep him, but stuff like that, he needs to put it on target. He needs to bury that. Like that is what gets him in the starting lineup every time. And I saw the show the replay, and Neville was pissed, and I don't blame him. That was a sitter that he could have just tapped right in, put it in the bottom corner, and scored a goal. And that's us with 3 points and shooting up the table, because the bottom of the table right now is very tight. Like 1 or 2 games lost, points drop, stuff like that, that can put us in a hole. So that was a situation, and that right there that could have given us the easy lead, and we could have just sat back and defended.
Yeah, he's gonna get polished, but that's part
Mm-hmm.
of him being young, and he kind of went for power there. He should have gone for finesse, kind of like playing FIFA. He should have hit RB there.
Yeah, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He was under pressure. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but still, like, at least if he would have at least gotten on target, I would have been happy.
Yeah, we all would have been happy with at least an on-target shot, but having it sail over the crossbar like that is definitely a little bit disappointing. But yeah, I think he'll step up. I'm really excited to see him grow within the team. He's one of those players that when we got him from LAFC, a lot of the LAFC guys that we talked to, from 3252 and D9U, they were kind of pissed, right? They
Yeah.
wanted to see him stay with LAFC or whatnot. And I'm excited to see him grow. A lot of people were excited to see him grow, and I think it was a good performance. He was a bit lacking, and I think we'll see him get a little bit more polished here in the near future. And another thing is Gregore is in form. Neville brought that up. I think Gregore is looking a lot better than he did in the beginning of the year.
Hmm.
What changes do you see in him? I just see him. I see him playing more aggressively. I see him hustling like he was.
Not too aggressive now.
Yeah, he's not getting as many yellows at
That
least.
yeah,
Maybe.
that's getting better. I guess he's learning how to do a slide tackle now, so that helps. That definitely helps with our holding midfielder.
That's true. At least he can properly not get fucking booked every other game or whatever and
he's
develop
giving
these
he's
these
giving
problems. So
LG.
well, honestly, yeah, getting the LGP vibes, right? The Figal
Yeah,
vibes. But he was doing that last year too, and it sucks because you then have to play without him, and that kind of kept us out of the playoffs. A few games that we played without him. I don't want that to happen again, so I'm glad to see him playing better.
Yeah.
Um, so one of the last things I want to talk about, talking about Philly, is Higuain as a super sub. So we've been talking about that a little bit. We talked about it last time. You guys don't want to see him on the roster or whatever, but I told you he's worth it as a super sub. And we saw Campana tired. We saw him gas. We noticed. I think he
Hmm.
should have came on a little bit earlier. Maybe we would have had some better opportunities. But I thought Higuain looked okay. Um, I saw him get open in the box a few times. He was getting double teamed, but it was hard for people to find him. I think that's a result of everybody around him being tired. I think he should have came on a little bit earlier. And we'll talk about what his role we think is going to be on Sunday. But I thought it was halfway decent. I thought Emerson was halfway decent, but still not enough. So it is what it is. What do you think?
Yeah. He needs to realize that he's gonna get double teamed. He's gonna get man marked, simply because of Higuain. Because if he's on it and he gets space to turn and shoot, he's gonna most likely get it on target. So I understand he's gonna get frustrated when people aren't gonna give him passes, but he needs to realize like sometimes he's just not gonna be open. It's not always the best option to pass him. Sometimes it's the better option to not pass him because that's what people are expecting.
Yeah, I think he had a good free kick that went to Sailor. He might be best in that situation as a provider. That's what he said he's wanted to do.
He should, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how that develops, and I do have confidence that it'll be better than just not having him around. We're kind of thin
Yeah.
at striker. Robbie's made of glass. We need him in this long season, especially with what we're gonna talk about a little bit with Barcelona. They probably play him against Barcelona, honestly.
Yeah, just real quick. And I know I kind of realized this. I've been paying attention more to NBA playoffs now, and I saw what happened with Harden. And I was watching like First Take and stuff like that, and they're talking about how he's not the player that he used to be, like how he was on Houston and other teams, and how he needs to adjust his game in order to facilitate for his team. And I feel like that's where Higuain is now in his career. He's not the Higuain that he was with Chelsea or Napoli or Uve.
Juventus, yeah.
Yeah, he needs to understand like he has a different role on this team in this league now, and the way his health is or lack thereof, he needs to understand like okay, I need to be used differently in a different way, and I need to adjust to this league, which is a much more physical league than the Italian league, than any of the other leagues. That he needs to understand like okay, this is how I need to adjust my game in order to help the team and not just worry about okay, I'm the one getting the goals, I'm the one getting the goals. Like he needs to be more of a facilitator in that sense.
Yeah, I see a little bit of change though, to be honest with you. In the last few appearances, I do
Mm-hmm.
see him changing a bit, and I
I
look
do.
forward to him changing more. We'll see what happens if his father's claims are correct. This is his last season. I don't know how much we're gonna be able to see, but whatever. Good riddance. We'll get rid of him
I don't
in
see
the
how
new
he
year.
continues after this season. To be honest, I don't
No,
see it.
no, I you can listen to Miami Total Football. Franco talks about a personal conversation he had with him, and he doesn't even want to coach or anything. Like his brother's coaching right now with
Yeah.
Inter Miami too.
Nah, I
His
don't. I don't feel from what I've heard about Higuain from like some of the staff that I've talked to, he doesn't seem like that kind of person. He seems like my prediction is he'll leave the team, maybe play one season in Argentina, and then retire if he doesn't retire outright.
Well, according to Franco and the personal conversation he had with him, you can listen to on one of the episodes he has there. He says that Ewing says nah, he's done. Like after Miami, he's done. He's gonna hang out in Miami with his family.
Yeah,
And that's a lot of what we're seeing on the field.
I can see that
He
100%.
he's already done. He already started to hang out with his
Yeah,
family on
he's
the
checked
beach.
out. Which I'm not like trying to disparage the guy, but like it is what it is, and like people need to stop acting like it's not like that's the reality of it. Like he's
Yeah, yeah.
done.
We have a few people that might be delusional about him. The most I can get, dude, if I can get 2 or 3 late goals from him the rest of this year, then
Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
I
I'm
mean
happy
that's
with that.
that's the very least he can do. That's like the bare minimum of his
A-
job.
And you know what? It really sucks that a player getting paid that much, and that's what we're settling with
He's the third
at this
highest
point.
player. He's the third highest paid player in the league. The third
Yeah, that
highest.
just came out. That just came out. Third highest, and we're happy with a few goals from him. That's how bad it's been in Higuain land lately.
Yeah.
But enough about Higuain. Let's go on to New York Red Bulls. Let's talk about the injury list. It's a pretty much a fully fit squad. Let me pull up the tweet here from Alex Winley. Thank you, Alex Winley from the Heron Outlet. She got it nice and organized here, but we heard from Phil in the press conference. Robbie Robinson is back from concussion protocol. Rex Shea is back. Nick Marsman is back. Mabika is back. It is a little bit too soon to see Nick Marsman, but let's go ahead and talk about that first. Do you? I Here's the thing. He said Drake Callender is going to start on Sunday. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
he's in form. Marsman just came back. I think it's too early to talk about who's going to start on Wednesday because if we see a stinker from Calendar here, maybe Marsman's a better option on Wednesday against Orlando. What do you think about that?
I think so too. I think there is a small chance that Marsman starts, even though it's unlikely. I can see, I see the possibility of Marsman
Starts
starting.
wait starts when Sunday or
Oh,
Wednesday?
sorry, yeah, Sunday against Red Bulls.
You think
Ju-
so? He vehemently shut it down. He said he's only trained 1 day. When you think about it, if he's only trained 1 day, I don't think so. I think Calendar will start on Sunday,
Mhm.
and I think it's like kind of like an open tryout still. Like,
Well,
all right,
I'm not
prove
saying.
your. If Calendar balls, I want him to play on Wednesday. And
Yeah,
if he doesn't match his performances, if he's inconsistent, we saw that horrible game against Charlotte in the preseason. That's still kind of looming over a little bit. You could see that side of him.
and
So
Montreal.
and Montreal or was it Montreal? Yeah, it was Montreal.
Yeah,
Sorry, what
well,
did I say?
it wasn't open, but I saw footage of it, and yeah,
Not Open Cup. I'm sorry, preseason.
yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I don't know. I think you play Calendar and you see what you got, and if not, maybe you put Marsman in or Diop or
Yeah,
whoever
because I
again.
believe Diop is back. He was dressed out last game, so I think Oligopi is good. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna happen, but I can see. I think there's a slight chance, like maybe a 25% chance that Marsman just gets on the field because I don't think we're gonna play a strong lineup against Red Bulls. Not because we're underestimating Red Bulls, because I think they're like in third or fourth, something like that. They're up there, but just because, especially Phil said himself that he wants to focus on Open Cup, and now especially because we're traveling to Orlando, we're gonna need the best and strongest and most and less fatigue. We want everybody to be rested and ready to go against Orlando.
Yeah, definitely, and you're gonna see that in our lineup prediction that we're gonna do right now. Um, I I don't know. I still think we see Calendar because we talked about
Yeah,
this before recording. It's it's not you're not running as much at the goalkeeper position, so I can see him starting on Saturday, Sunday, starting on Wednesday. And we'll see what happens. We'll talk about the lineup prediction for Orlando next episode.
hmm
But without further ado, want to get started? I say Calendar starts.
yeah. No, I definitely say calendar starts. I just there might be a slight. I wouldn't be surprised if Marsman starts, but
I
calendar
wouldn't be
will probably
surprised.
play.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got a bad start from Calendar, like if it was a bad game, and you sub Marsman in, and maybe use one of the subs on that and
I don't
see
think he'll
Marsman on
waste a
Wednesday.
sub on a goalkeeper unless he's hurt.
Yeah, probably not. But like, if it's a horrible performance, talking about like if he's given up like 5 goals and he's made some horrible plays, whatever. But I do have faith Calendar will play good, and I have faith we'll see him on Wednesday too.
Mm-hmm.
Marsman might need some more time before he's fully back. We'll see.
Yeah,
Maybe Marsman plays against Portland. We'll see. All right, so
true.
we talked about right back. This is a sticky one here. This is a sticky one here. I don't want to see Edlin here.
Because you want it for Orlando, right?
Yeah, I want it for Orlando. You think Ulloa comes back in there? I think maybe.
I think Yellen sits, but not for EO or maybe somebody else.
You think who do you think he'll put in there?
Can Mave play right back, or is he? Is
He
he?
played he played left back those last few times.
Because I remember there was saying about
But
somebody who can't play
McVay's
on the
another
right because of their,
Mc,
their orientation.
McVay's another one that I think is gonna rest too. He's played in almost every game, including last game, I believe. So I don't think we're gonna see McVay here either.
If that's the case, then Yellen might play the first half.
You know what? Let's go top to bottom. Let's go top to bottom.
Yeah.
We got Calendar. I'm gonna stop at the top. I think we both agree that Robbie Robinson's gonna start up top. What do you think?
Yeah, Campana should be getting rested for this game.
Yeah, I don't even think we'll see him on the bench. I think we'll see Ewing on the bench. So let me rate that. I think Ewing is definitely gonna be on the
Yeah,
bench.
Robinson will probably play top, probably.
Yeah, I think Robinson up top. Um, Let me see. Let me pull up a picture I sent you guys here. Sorry about that
That's fine.
for the lineups. Let me see who I got on the wings. Who do you think for the wings? Anybody in mind?
Well, for this one, it says here we had Duke on the left and Jimota on the right with Gregory in the middle. I still say Gregory stays in the middle.
You think
Um,
Gregory plays? I think Mo Adams plays.
I didn't even think of Lions
You
to
know,
be
you know,
honest.
you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna go with what I would go with, or like what you would go with. So would you do Mo Adams set at the six? I would. He
Mm,
deserves the minutes. He's been out for a little bit,
yeah, 'cause
and
like
I think he's
like I
the
even
rest.
said, they're gonna play a not so strong squad against Red Bulls,
You know
so I
what
can
I
see it. Yeah.
you know what I also thought about too. Gregore is Brazilian, and there's the whole Brazilian collection in Orlando. So I think
True.
they're gonna want Mota and Gregory rested, and
I
I think the
say
Brazilian.
Mota plays. I'm not exactly sure where I think Mota plays, but Gregory gets
You think
benched.
Mota plays? I put. You know what? This is what I'll do. This is what I had. Okay, I'm gonna put Duke. I think Duke will play.
He
If he
definitely
get,
will play.
I think he'll get subbed out at some point to get him some rest. So I got Duke and Adams in the midfield, and I think Ulloa might play in the midfield, or maybe they'll play Robert Taylor in the midfield. I don't know.
The thing about it, yeah, he can play pretty much anything. Not well, not amazingly, but he can play it.
I'm gonna put Taylor in the midfield. I'm gonna put Taylor in the midfield.
Yeah,
All right.
I can
And I'll
see
go
that.
over this in a little bit. Right now we're like scrambling, but I'll explain in a little bit. At the left back, I originally had Noah Allen in one of these, but he's playing right now for Inter Miami too. So I think they're
Yeah,
gonna put
no,
Jovan Jones. I think Jovan Jones will play there since Gibbs is hurt. I think at the right back we'll see Ulloa again. I think we'll see Jairo Quinteros.
definitely.
Mabika, I think is a bit too soon, so I think we'll see Sailor. I think McVay needs to get rest. And then on the
Hmm.
wings, maybe Vasilev. He just got on. He's a little bit fresher.
He needs more. He
Um,
needs more minutes, so I say
You
Vasilov.
think Emerson starts? I believe Emerson can start there. Or Lassiter. No, Lassiter now.
Yeah,
Lassiter because he got his rest. So Lassiter.
he got his
And
rest.
Emerson.
Yeah, so he's somebody that we need for this game
So I'll put
because he got
Emerson
rested
as a
last
sub.
game.
Yeah. Shea is a sub. Shea could come in there. It could be
Shea will come
Buckshay.
on as a sub, 100%.
Shea will come on as well.
If anything, I think he could play right back.
All right. So yeah, he could play right back too, maybe. And maybe we see Ulloa instead of Taylor in the midfield. Um, but yeah, we'll stick with what we got here. So let's do Drake Callender as a keeper. Jovan Jones is the left back. Ryan Sailor, is that his name? Ryan? I believe it is,
Yeah,
right? Ryan Sailor is the center back. Jairo Quinteros center back. Victor Ulloa is the right back. Mo Adams is the center defensive mid. Robert Taylor and Duke in the midfield. Maybe swap out uh, Shea for Ulloa at the right back and put Ulloa in the midfield. We'll see. I know they talked about Ulloa's versatility, so maybe we'll see him somewhere in the midfield. Vasilev up top with on the right with Robinson up top, and then Lassiter on the left. Maybe swap that. Maybe Vasilev to the left, Lassiter to the right, but
they've been
something like
swapping
that.
sometimes. Like I've noticed that mid
Yeah,
game, Neville will swap them sometimes.
I like that. I like that
He did that
actually.
a couple of games ago where they swapped position because it wasn't working and it helped us out.
Definitely. And
I
then
think it was
Higuain
against
coming
Steven.
on. Yeah, we have Higuain coming in, Emerson coming in, Breckshay coming in, maybe. So yeah, I like that lineup. I hope they go with something rotated. I think he has no other option but to rotate
Yeah.
heavily like this. So yeah, let's talk about New York Red Bulls. This is the return of Lewis Morgan, a fan favorite.
Oh
I
boy.
know, I know my girlfriend is a really big fan of him.
Yeah.
He's definitely a good looker, the Scottish fellow.
He's a good
I
looking guy. Yeah.
definitely, yeah, he's a great looking guy, man. He's a great looking guy on the field too. He was the player of the year for us that our inaugural year, and he always played with heart in a team that didn't really play with heart. So I just wanted to take a few moments to shout out Lewis Morgan as one of my favorite Inter Miami players ever, and hopefully we see him in the Inter Miami uniform one day again.
Yeah, I would love to have him back. He's been balling like crazy. Even though, funnily enough, they've been sometimes playing him out of position too, which is what we did constantly.
Wingback, they got him as a wingback now too.
Yeah, which is what was happening there
That
with us.
frustrates me, dude. That
Which is fr-
frustrates me.
and I remember I think it was Bado who mentioned that I was frustrated about that too. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the nature of the game, and I don't think he has any ill intentions against us, unlike Carranza, who says he doesn't want to play for us anymore. Well, he
uh,
said, well, I shouldn't say that. He was asked whether he played for us or for Philly, and he said he'd rather play for Philly because there's no divas on Philly, which I assume he's talking about Higuain.
there's a lot of divas that were on those teams. Pizarro as well.
Pizarro was a diva
Yeah,
too. Yeah, so
there's a
I
lot of
get that.
there was
So
Matuidi. There was a lot of divas on that.
it was straight
Dude,
up divas. Shout
dude,
out
we
to
had a
Philly.
toxic, freaking fire sale, bro. Just they've never seen the MLS had never seen a flush that big. It was a purge. It was definitely a purge.
Which was
Uh,
needed. You had to Chris Henderson
yeah,
had to rip off that band-aid after fucking Paul McDonough fucked us so hard.
yeah. Hey, New York played on Wednesday, right? You covered that. I think they did, right?
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, they played on.
They
I
played.
believe
They tied 3-3 against Chicago.
so. They played on Wednesday. They played in the Open Cup against Charlotte, I believe.
Yes,
Or
they had a Morgan scored a PK. Harper scored in the 53rd, 58th minute, and Kalima, I guess that's how you pronounce it, scored in the last minute.
so they might come out with a B lineup too. We'll see how that one plays out. They got
Yeah.
an Open Cup match coming up. Who's the
Uh,
Open Cup match against Charlotte?
I'm
I
gonna
think it's
pull up their
Charlotte.
schedule right now. I don't know if this will only show me MLS
No,
games
no,
though.
Open Cup's on there. If you look it on Google.
Oh no, I'm not looking on Google. They play DC after they play us.
Oh, so it's DC in the no DC's out of the Open Cup.
No, I'm on MLS's website. That's why I see that.
I got you. I got you. Give me one
But
moment. Sorry, guys.
they have DC. Why you looked it up? They have
They play
DC,
Charlotte. Yeah, they play Charlotte.
Charlotte.
They play Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte on Wednesday in the Open Cup. So maybe we might get a B lineup from them too. Maybe they're going the Open Cup. They're closer to the top of the table, so maybe not. They might play a strong lineup.
Yeah, they
Try
have
to
an
get 3 points
interesting.
in our home.
They have an interesting run of matches. They have DC, Charlotte, then Toronto at home, away at LAFC, and then home to Atlanta. So they have home away, home away, home away. So
Well, whether they take this game seriously or not, um, New York's a strong team. They play a high pressing style.
mm-hmm.
I do expect to see an identity from us, even though we're getting this B lineup. We might not see as much of it. I don't want to say I'm expecting a loss, but I wouldn't be surprised with a loss here. But I'd be happy with a 1-1 game, 2-2
Yeah,
game,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna say we're
one
not gonna take this game
2-1 game.
seriously. Yeah, I'm not saying we're not gonna take this game seriously, but load management is part of the game within a game when
Yeah.
it comes to seasons like this, especially how we have so many games coming. Like I said, what was it, 4 games in 7 days? You said it was
No, we have
Or
5 games in 14 days.
5 games in 5 games of 14 games.
in 14
And
days.
in
14 days,
14
yeah.
games, and not to mention how we're going to talk about the Barcelona game coming up, how that's sandwiched in between 2 games in the middle of our season. If you want to move on to that,
Yeah, we'll get there. We're gonna get
okay,
there.
yeah, that game is sandwiched in between 2 other games, similar to how they have their schedule going on. With they have a bunch of games, and all of a sudden they have this other game. So we'll see how that works out.
New York's gonna play Barcelona too. Funny enough, New York. Red
Yes,
Bulls.
they are. Yes, they are.
So yeah, and Phil said it. If you have the chance to play Barcelona, you do it.
Of
You know,
course.
we're not. It's not like we're at the top of the table. New York is, and they took it. But I do think New York might take the Open Cup not as seriously. Maybe they come in try to rob us of 3 points. I do think we'll come out strong though. I'll be happy to see a score. Don't give them a clean sheet, right? I'd be happy with a draw. Obviously, way happier with a win going into the Open Cup. But we'll see what happens because I definitely want to win that Open Cup game.
Yeah,
And
I think it might. I assume my prediction probably like a 1-1 draw.
yeah. So me and Akeem will be out there, probably green lot before the game. If you want to see us, we'll be in Vice City 1896 section right in the middle. Come shout out, come say what's up to us. We'll be there tomorrow. Come say what's up. I believe 6 p.m. kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a good one. It's gonna be a steamy game where your tank tops.
Yes, if you're listening to this, the weather report from WSVN 7 said it's gonna be 90 degrees in the afternoon. Please, please, drink water. Don't pass out. It's going to be hot as fuck.
It's gonna be steamy, bro. It's steamy as hell out right now. It's real Miami
It
again.
is, yeah.
I
That
missed the
humidity.
dry season already, so it's wet season. Get used to it. It's gonna be like this from now on.
Yeah,
But
it's mad cloudy out my window right now.
yeah, I'm actually making a custom tank top tonight for the game, a new one. I had the black one last time. I got a white one coming up.
Nice.
So, transitioning into the FC Barcelona match announcement. Again, we were talking about these game sandwich in. Another sandwich that we're gonna have is July. Don't forget to mention if we're still in the Open Cup, I believe there might be matches around then too.
Oh my goodness,
So it gets sticky. Yeah. I do want to be around for that. That's a good problem to have though.
that is
Um,
too many games.
Hey, and I'm sorry, playing Barcelona on a Wednesday or Tuesday, or whatever it is, that's a good problem to have too. That's
Yeah.
definitely a good problem to have. Hi, Ashley.
Our new guest on the podcast. Hi, Ashley.
Repping AT&T, an MLS sponsor.
There you go.
I believe so.
Yeah.
All right,
it's-
so so our hey, we got our first sponsor, AT&T.
boom.
Who's next? Ñoque Barato, Sedanos,
See, that knows exactly.
or Navarro Pharmacy. All right, so FC Barcelona, we got that's gonna be sandwiched in between Saturday, July 16th against Charlotte at home and NYC away, July 23rd at Yankee Stadium. Like Neville said, our players are gonna want to play that game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a good lineup against Barcelona. I want to beat Barcelona. My dad used to be a big Barcelona fan. Shout out to my dad. Rest in peace. Love that dude. I actually had a dude. Funny enough, I want to mention this on the podcast. I had a dream that he called me asking for tickets.
Nice. That's crazy, man.
So it's
That's
cool, man.
wild.
You know, touching in through the dream world. You know, trying to get it plugged up. But yeah, man, that's a good sandwich to have. Good problem to have. I'm excited for this game. How about you?
I can't wait. Like it's been a while since I've been. I think the last like game like this I've been to was when England played. I forget who, and I think it was like Honduras or something like that, because they had a double header at the Hard Rock when I used to live right next to it, and me and my dad went to that game, and yeah, it was like England versus some like Honduras, something like that. It was a good game.
The last game I went to like that, you remind me, was at Hard Rock. I went to Napoli, Barcelona last time, and
Nice.
I have some close family friends that are Napoli, not had diehard Napoli fans. Shout out to Gianni. Gianni's one of my OGs right there. Always love to support Napoli. So it was a packed house with Barcelona. We were rocking our Napoli gear. And
Nice.
I do expect to see a heavy Barcelona crowd in our stadium.
Definitely,
N-
100%.
no Barcelona jerseys in our section, but it's gonna be
Yeah,
tough to
we'll
keep
see
them
about
out,
that.
man. It's gonna be
Yeah,
so tough to keep them out. At least push them to the side. At least not in the middle in Vice City section.
exactly.
Definitely not. After the FC Barcelona match, our next talking point is the call-ups.
Yeah.
DeAndre Yedlin called up to the U.S. men's national team. Um, Edison Ascona called up to Dominican Republic. Maybe some more call-ups coming up here soon. I know we get a big break. It's like 3 weeks to 4 weeks coming up here in June. So that's gonna be good. So we're gonna still be able to talk about Yedlin. Maybe we'll talk some Ascona. We're gonna have a lot of interviews prepared for that
Hmm.
month, and we'll have some good content for you guys. But proud of Yedlin, proud of Ascona. We're proud to support players like Edison Ascona. I want to talk about him first. Mangu,
El
you heard of
Mango.
Mangu? You
Yeah,
heard of it, Mangu, bro?
of course. Yeah.
Dog, that's the best. That's the best nickname. Shout out to Wilson for calling him in Mangu. Um,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not Dominican. I'm Cuban. You're Trini, but we're all Caribbean, bro, and we love our Dominicans. We love our Haitians too. Hey, you know what? I want to see a Haitian player for us, like Etienne for Columbus.
We had one for like a while, but he never played.
Yeah, he did. Yo, you're right. What are the
In like the
what was
first, I
he?
forget his name, but yeah, we
Look him
had
up.
one
Look
for
him
a
up.
while. Yeah.
Look him up real quick while I talk about Ascona real quick, dude. So yeah, Ascona, Dominican player. We love our Dominican people. Los Tiguerazo, El Mangu, bro. Super proud to have him represent, and he's one of these young players that I think is gonna make an impact on the first team soon. We see Bryce Duke as a young player in that midfield, and I do see Edison Ascona getting some first team minutes here soon if he keeps developing. So
I found him. Yeah, it's
you found him? Who is he?
Denesso Sele. He plays. Yeah, he played for us. Didn't make any appearances. Yeah, he was on our team in 2000 in 2020. Then he got sent to Richmond Kickers, and now he plays for North Colorado Hailstorm.
Oh, the hailstorm. That's
Yeah,
funny.
because
They were in the Open Cup, yeah.
yeah, they're in an open day. I forget. Did they beat like a really good team recently?
I think so.
Yeah.
They were a League One. They were one of those League One upsets. But
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, with the rich Haitian culture here in South Florida, I do see Haitian players coming up here soon. But really good to see Edison Ascona, Dominican player. There's a lot of Cuban players. Speaking of Cuba, in the Caribbean, there's a lot of Cuban players like Modesto Mendez in our academy in our Inter Miami too.
Hmm.
There's a lot of Cuban players coming up through the ranks as well. So excited for that. But yeah, congratulations to Yedlin as well, man. I, one thing I wanted to talk about when it came to Yedlin is I've always dreamt about having U.S. men's national team players play for the U.S. And the big dream is Pulisic. That'd be awesome, but he's going to be in Europe for a while. And we're
Yeah.
going to see a lot of good young American players in Europe for a while. So getting a player of DeAndre Yedlin's caliber in a position of need like right back was such a cool thing for me. I was so happy when we got him. And I always figured as a good fit. He was bouncing around Europe a little bit, ended up in Turkey with Galatasaray or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, you
But
got it
yeah,
right.
he ended up here, and that was a really good pickup for Chris Henderson right there. Chris Henderson, I believe, scouted him
He
in
knows him.
Seattle's
I think
academy.
he knew him. He's known him since he was like 6 because he knows his dad.
Yeah, so they're close, and Yedlin's someone we're super proud to support at Vice City 1896 and Barra 76, Miami and Barra 76 total. DeAndre Yedlin, if you're listening, anybody from the team listening, I got a Barra 76 scarf for you, bro. Been trying to give it to you for a few games.
Yeah,
Come
for real.
over, I'll figure it out. We'll get him that scarf soon because we have seen Weston McKinney rocking the scarf.
Yeah, and also I think it was one player. I forget who. I think it was
Somebody else.
Damian Lowe who had a Vice City header in his Twitter.
Oh no, Mabika.
It was
Mabika as
Mabika. Yeah, it was Mabika. I knew it was
yeah,
one of the defenders. Yeah, he had a flag of Vice City in his Twitter banner, which was great.
I gave Noah Allen a Vice City scarf, so somewhere in the
Nice.
Noah Allen household, hopefully he's got that Vice.
I wanted to give Calendar my scarf last game,
Yeah, you should.
but
You should
but
definitely
he
do it.
didn't come over. But it's understandable. We get him another
Hey,
time.
maybe you trade, maybe you get a jersey.
Exactly.
But yeah, speaking of Yedlin and Drake, Drake Callender as well got called out by Matt Doyle as a future goalkeeper to look out for. Um,
I think after this World Cup, he's definitely gonna get looks for the World Cup, especially if he has a really good season, continue forward, which I definitely think he will. I think after the World Cup, he'll start going to these camps and stuff like that and getting tryouts. I think definitely.
And that's one of these cool things, man, to see these young players getting attention from the national media and possibly getting onto the U.S. men's national team rosters and coming into camps. That's super exciting. This is one of the things that I dreamt about when it came to having an MLS team, is having players play for their national teams, especially the USA. And we got a player called up, and let's get right into it with the U.S. men's national team. Summer international camp, little window. We got some games coming up. I got the games here. Let me talk about them.
Hmm.
So we are gonna play against Morocco in an international friendly on June 1st. Then we're gonna play Uruguay on a friendly as well. Grenada, I believe, is Nations League, and Nations League against El Salvador as well. So 4 games in that window, pretty sandwiched up there, 4 or 5 days in between each game. And it's gonna be an exciting window. We're gonna talk about it a little bit more in detail after Portland. But let's talk about the reason I bring up those games, because the roster came out. So at goalkeeper, you have the roster too?
Yeah, I have the roster pulled up here. At the goalkeeper,
Yeah.
we have Nathan Horvath, Zach Steffen, and Matt Turner, which is actually that's a solid goalkeeper lineup. We got George
That's our best three. That's our best three.
100 right now, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
In defense, we have George Bello, Reggie Cannon, Cameron Carter Vicks, Aaron Long, Eric Palmer Brown, Anthony Jedi John Robinson, Joe Skelly, who doesn't have any caps, which is good. We have our own DeAndre Yedlin and Walker
Yeah.
Zimmerman.
Walker Zimmerman's solid too. Yep.
He's very solid. Midfield, we got Kellen Acosta, Tyler Adams, Luca De La Torre, Weston McKinney's back.
Yeah.
He's now finally back from injury. Georgi Mahilovic, which I love how he spells his name.
Balling. He's balling.
He's a
Yeah, I love
baller too.
Gentry.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
6 caps and 1 goal. Yunus Munsa, Yunus Munsa. I was
Yunus Musa
yeah,
missed the penalty in Copa del Rey,
that's
actually, too.
right. Yeah, I remember that. Christian Roldan and Malik Tillman are your midfielders. Then for
CONCACAF
four,
Champions League
yeah,
champion right there.
true. And then for forwards, we got Brendan Arison, Paul Ariola, Jesus Ferrer, John Morris, Christian Pulisic, Tim Weah, and Haji Wright, which is a stacked forward lineup.
Yeah, that's a good lineup. So let's go ahead and start at the back with the goalkeepers. I really hope we see some more Horvath. I think he's somebody we could depend on. We had that good game in the Nations League final, I believe it was. And I believe he deserves some more minutes here. These are friendlies. I hope he can prove himself there. Maybe Stefan, they might want to give Stefan the time, because he's had very little time in Man City. And then of course there's Matt Turner coming back from injury. I don't think we'll
And
see
not
him.
even just that, the few times that he has played, he's had some howlers. He's let in some not so great goals. I think there was one where he like had it at his feet and it rolled in. So
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they split the time between Horvath and Stefan and keep Turner as the backup. Um, Onto the defenders: George Bello, Reggie Cannon, Cameron Carter Vickers, Aaron Long, Eric Palmer Brown, Anthony Jedi, Joe Scally, DeAndre Yedlin, Walker Zimmerman. I think that's solid. We are missing Miles Robinson, who got hurt. He had the
mm,
Achilles injury. We are missing
that's
Serginho
true.
Dest. Serginho Dest. So there's some injuries among the defenders, but I still think we have enough to roll out a solid line each one of these friendlies,
How long
and
is
get ready for the World Cup.
what? What is the injury for Des? I didn't hear about that.
He's had like a hammy or a muscle. I can't remember exactly.
So he could
He's
play against us when they come here.
he might play against us. He's not in any of the promotional material.
Well, because he's
He,
injured now.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Some people are talking about him moving on from Barcelona as well, Des. So we'll see what happens. Some people are talking about Pulisic moving on from Chelsea. We'll see what happens there. Again, now the midfield: Kellen Acosta, that's awesome. Tyler Adams, really good. Luca de la Torre, he's been solid back there. Weston McKinney's back. I'm excited to see Weston McKinney back. Probably in limited minutes, but
Probably, yeah, because he had a really bad injury.
he did. But I hope he stays healthy enough for the World Cup, because we're gonna need him.
Yeah.
And I definitely love his celebration, the wizard,
Yeah,
the
because
Harry
he's a
Potter
Harry
one.
Potter fan, yeah.
Yeah, I love Harry Potter too, dude. My girlfriend got me into Harry Potter during the pandemic, so
Nice.
that's awesome. I like that celebration. Georgi Mihailovic, like I said, he's been balling in the MLS. Hopefully that translates there. And we could see him play in the World Cup. You never know. And Yunus Musa, he's been solid for us. Christian Roldan, just won the Champions League, and Malik Tillman, 0 caps. I gotta look into him. I
Yeah,
gotta tell you right
he's
now.
another one. Him, Joe Scaly, and Haji Wright are all new caps.
Hey, and Haji Wright, I've seen Haji Wright. He's been balling in, what league was it? The Danish league? Did you say?
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
he's on a team in a Danish league, but he's on loan right now in Turkey.
Yeah, and he's balling. He's been scoring. So Hopefully, we see some transition there. Tim Weah's been playing really good on the wing.
He's been
I know,
fantastic. Yeah.
I know Dempsey predicted Weah up top in the World Cup, so we'll see about that. I don't know if that's a bad option. Maybe we'll experiment with that. We'll see what Berhalter does with him. But he's definitely one of our wingers. Pulisic as an attacking midfielder. I love Pully. Hope to see him ball. I'm
Hmm.
glad he's at that camp. Jordan Morris, another baller for Seattle, another Champions League champion. Jesus Ferreira has been balling for Dallas. Look forward to seeing him and Paulo Ariola and my boy Brendan Harrison, dog. He reminds me of Tom Holland. I call him Spider Man. Like I don't
True.
know.
The
I love
I
Brendan.
think the forwards are our strongest lineup right here. This lineup with Aronson, Ferreira, Jordan Morris. Jordan Morris, he pulls goals out of his ass. Like there's
He's
times
a
where,
hustler. He's a
bro,
hustler.
there's times where like I think he plays for Seattle, and out of nowhere he'll just like belt one out of fucking nowhere. So he's guys that can get you draws, he can get you leads and stuff like that. He is a wild card. I love him. Christian Pulisic, everything that needs to be said about Pulisic has already been said. Tim Weah is a baller. Haji Wright, he's gonna want to prove himself, especially against this stacked ass lineup with
The
Jesus
nine is
Ferreira.
open. The nine position's open right now. Come in, Haji. Let's go.
Yeah, and
Come
then
and take
you
it.
got her, you got and Brendan Aronson's gonna he's gonna feel the same way because he's one of the youngest people out of these forwards, so he's gonna want to prove himself. And same thing with Ferreira.
With how much this team gets injured, you might see Harrison more than you want. I don't want to jinx
But
anything,
it's the
but
reality of the situation. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
and we have depth and we need depth, and I like this roster. I think it's good for the summer roster.
We have
I
great
don't
depth
know.
here.
I don't know if there's another camp before the World Cup or not. There might be more friendlies. There should be.
They'll probably play like a couple of games just to get
Yeah,
ready.
they'll probably have another
A
camp
couple of
in the
friendlies and stuff
fall,
like that. Yeah.
probably in the early fall or something or late summer. We'll see. Um, but definitely a good episode today. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Um, you have any final thoughts, Akeem, before we sign out?
Um, Sunday game's gonna be interesting. I don't expect us to play a strong roster because we're getting ready for Orlando, but I expect us to have a decent squad, especially because our depth is actually back to where it needs to be, and we have pretty much everybody set. So Sunday's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think Sunday's going to be interesting. I don't really expect much out of Sunday. Honestly, I just want to see a rotated team. I want to see what some of these young players got. Give some players some opportunities. The more rotated, the better, and let players prove themselves. But I do want to talk about the identity the team's building. I don't expect to see that identity full fledged on Sunday, since we're going to see a team that likely hasn't played together much in that lineup that's going to be heavily rotated. But in the times that we are seeing this A lineup, we are seeing a really good chemistry flowing between this midfield three and the forwards. We're seeing a prettier brand of soccer. We're seeing a lot more passing that we wish for. It's not perfect. It's still a work in progress. But as a fan, this is what I've always wanted. And this is what we haven't had in 2 years. So I'm happy to support this team. I'm happy the way they're playing. I want to see them keep up the hustle. I want to see them keep playing great. Shout out to Bryce Duke. I think he's filled out that midfield really good. I think Robert Taylor as a winger has been amazing as well. Damian Lowe really stepping up. Jaime Mabika before the injury. Drake Callender. I'm excited about this team, and it's been a while since I've been excited. We had that little stretch of a winning streak that was good, and I just hope we continue this Open Cup run. I really want to go into Orlando strong, and we'll talk about that next week. But win against Orlando, man. That's it for me. If you win against Orlando, you get to host against Nashville or Louisville. That's the dream for me. Let's do it. Let's get it done.
And if Louisville just happens to upset Nashville and we get to host them, that would be wild. But we got to focus on the game we had ahead of us, and we got to beat Orlando. Even if we lose against New York, Orlando is definitely the goal.
Yeah, definitely, man. How cool would that be, Nashville? I mean, Louisville, either one, but Louisville, another USL side in the quarterfinals. I believe the last 8 teams left. That'll give us a good opportunity to get in the Final Four. But yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. As always, thanks you guys for joining La Ventanita. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Come pass by and say what's up.
Good luck. Have fun.